60 Minutes Rewind.
With a good part of Europe going to hell in a handbasket of ethnic and religious bloodshed, we've decided to visit a place where, if people don't exactly love their neighbors, they at least live in peace with them. Finland's the place, isolated by language and geography, where the national mission seems to be to not be noticed. It's the most sparsely populated nation in Europe. It shares hundreds of miles of border with Russia. Half of it is permanently dark all winter. All of it suffers from the permanent glooms. But a rich country whose only excess is massive intake of alcohol and something else we'll get to later. This is not a day of national mourning in Helsinki, Finland's capital. These are Finns in their natural state, brooding, private, grimly in touch with no one but themselves, the shyest people on earth, depressed and proud of it. We found that no one looks anyone in the eye, so intensely private that to be noticed is an embarrassment, to take notice an affront. It's no surprise that Finland has one of the lowest birth rates and one of the highest suicide rates. A nation of garbos. They all vaunt or want to be alone. Isolated by Arctic geography and a language of alphabet soup gone crazy.
We're silent, brooding people. We think a lot. We like to keep our privacy and give the fellow man his privacy, keep a distance.
Jan Kanutas is a Finnish author and producer for the government radio service. Finns, he says, have a difficult time making even the most casual social contact, with a stranger on a bus, for example.
I begin to think that I hope the other person doesn't say something. I might have to engage in a conversation now. It's a horrifying thought. And sometimes you have to. He actually says that, "Where are you going?" And then it's, "Oh God, I have to talk now." Even if I would like to say, "Please leave me alone and let me brood for an hour," I'm too polite to do that, so I go along and get irritated in the process.
Finns glory in their isolation. Though they claim Jolly Santa as a Finn, they take their pleasures painfully. The sauna is a Finnish invention. Their favorite composer is their own John Sibelius, whose Arctic features are a guidebook to the national character.
You don't read in the Finnish travel books that people don't like to talk, and so even all my little research before I moved to Finland, I didn't know that nobody would want to talk to me.
Terry Schultz is an American reporter who's lived in Helsinki for 3 years. Even though she now speaks the language, the ice has yet to be broken.
They resist even shaking hands.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I wonder, yeah, shaking hands I think is pretty intense for them, but try to hug a Finn. If you've ever tried to hug a Finn, they're very shaky.
Even Arja Koriseva, a Finnish songstress and hardly a wallflower, is comfortable in Finland's icy reserve.
We have like a wall here. We try to look at you and watch who you are, what you are, before we dare to come to you and speak with you. And I guess American people are more like, "Hi, who are you? Where are you from? Nice to meeting you. I love you."
It strikes me, traveling around this country, that people are terribly shy, particularly the men.
Among ourselves, we think this is the natural way to be, not to sort of stick out. It's easy to see that coming from another country, you think of it as shyness, and it probably is, yes.
So what do they do about this clinical shyness, this almost terminal melancholy? They come to places like this. There are 2,000 of them in the country, pay their 50 markas, that's about $12, and take part in what has become a kind of national obsession, the tango.
It's difficult to understand and impossible to exaggerate the importance of this Tango Finlandia. It can come upon a Finn anytime, anywhere. Tango halls are everywhere. For the lunchtime crowd on Helsinki's most fashionable avenue, the Mannerheim Inkatooth. And to tango the night away, there are halls in the deep, deep woods. All the halls have one thing in common. a sign like this one. It is a shield against shyness. It indicates when it's okay for a man to ask a woman to dance, and vice versa. For a nation that finds shaking hands an overly intimate ordeal, just imagine the terror of touching a stranger's waist or shoulder. But the tango and this flashing light have become the official license to touch. The music and that illuminated word say it all. Not a further word need be said.
It's all accepted within these very strict parameters of Finnish social being, and they don't have to think of what to do next. I mean, they don't have to be spontaneous, and it's not overtly sexy, which is something they're very afraid of, and so it's all very well defined for them.
There are strict rules to Finnish tango.
The women stand on one side, as you've seen, the men stand on the other.
The men. For them, there is an unwritten code of behavior.
It's good if the man is sober enough to be able to make half of the dance steps and not step on the woman's feet too much. He should not smell of vomit or anything. And then he should not sort of try to impose himself on the woman. He shouldn't make the woman feel uneasy. He should be the perfect gentleman.
The corners of tango halls look like handbag heaven. It reflects more the basic honesty of Finns than wild, girlish abandon. The Finnish tango is not to be confused with the groin-grinding, passionate Latin American version. The Finns have managed to neutralize all that. It's a sad shuffle in a minor key, with lyrics to reaffirm a couple's instinctive sense of hopelessness.
Lyrics is very important because the stories are quite sad and melancholy stories, and they are necessary to Finnish people.
Ilpo Hakasalo is Finland's renowned historian of tango and the nation's leading tango judge. An upbeat tango, he says, is unthinkable. No one would understand it. It might as well be in Japanese.
Why this sadness?
Because we are very melancholy people here in Finland. And we need that.
Is it beyond just melancholy? Is it pessimistic in the sense that there will really be not much of a future for me?
Perhaps it is not totally pessimistic, but very many of the stories in the songs, of course they are love songs, but the most popular item is love that is over, or love that you are still waiting and you have waited that for 20 last years, and you are almost sure that it never will come.
The story will continue after this.
The Finnish male is very prone to self-pity. So we have a lot of tango songs, for instance, which are written by males.
What are the stories?
Sorrow, sorrow, sorrow.
Sorrow, sorrow,
Yes,
sorrow.
loss of loved ones. And the words go, you took my brain away, you actually took my sense away, made me your slave, promised me it would be good between us, but it only lasted for a moment, and then you left me, and then it's, oh me.
The tango singer has become the speaking surrogate for the silent Finn. He or she says things that no mere civilian would dare utter publicly or even privately. Arja Koriseva has performed this public service just about every night since she was crowned Tango Queen of Finland in 1989.
Somehow I feel when I sing tango that I'm talking with their lips. They are not speaking their side, but they would like to say the things I'm saying, maybe.
What's it?
Arja says that when she started performing, she was considered a freak by Finnish standards. Why is that girl laughing? The critics asked. Her audiences have learned to glumly accept this jolly and eccentric chanteuse. But are they having fun?
They do, but they just doesn't show it. I don't know why.
But quite apart from these men you see in the dance floors, do Finnish men find it difficult to talk to you, for example?
Older men will speak to me easily than the younger ones. Maybe that's why I'm a single.
Do people tell each other that they love each other?
No. Oh my God, no. No. Not even, I mean, even lovers, I think.
Well, I'd say you could say it once in a lifetime. If you say you have been married for 20 years, perhaps your spouse is on her deathbed. You could comfort her with saying, I love you. But it's not funny.
It's easier to me to say, like to my boyfriend, that I love you. We have heard it on TV, on movies. It's easier to me to say, I love you, than minä rakastan sinua. It doesn't hurt very nice if I say, I love you in Finnish.
You look slightly embarrassed when you say it.
Yeah, but we don't use I love you so much as you do. You love almost everybody. When a Finnish guy or man said, I love you, he really means it. I know.